Turbo Turnup Time. The Black Tiger Miner live cast is starting now. It's Turbo Turnup Time. The Black Tiger Miner live cast is starting now. It's Turbo Turnup Time. The Black Tiger Miner live cast is starting now.
Hello, YouTube and X. Is your main man BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Happy Friday. We made it. So thanks for joining. Thanks for logging in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And talking about Turbo is getting ready to start a massive push-up. Huge pump is loading. It's been consolidating, and I think the consolidation period is coming to an end, and it's getting ready to start that next leg up. As always, we got some videos to check out. I guess we'll start with Twitter, kind of go through postings, and then, excuse me, get over to the numbers. I was just drinking some coffee. I don't know if the coffee's drying my voice out or what. I don't know, but it's getting crazy. But happy Friday, and thanks for joining. And let me know in the chat, do you think Turbo is going to push back up, or if it is still going to consolidate over the weekend? What do you think the next move for Turbo is? And somebody was mentioning too, it's still a good time to get in because it is under billion market cap. That reminds me to open up coin ranking, but I don't already have it open. And if Turbo gets to a 4 billion market cap, that'd be a 10x from here. If it gets to a 40 billion market cap, which isn't impossible, right? It can happen. That would be 100x from here. That means you would 100x what you're currently holding in your what you're currently holding in your exchange or account for Turbo. And if it gets to 69 billion, which would be crazy, that would mean it would be at a $1 price. And I want to say that'd be 150x. I didn't actually do that calculation. I probably need to go back and check that calculation. Let me see. Okay, so we got the coin ranking back again. What up, Sammy? What's going on, brother? Happy Friday. Yes, let's freaking toad. Let's go. So let me turn the spotlight on and let's get to it, right? Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. Let's get to the math. Let's get to the science of the crypto. Freaking coffee. I don't know what's going on. So this is coin ranking. Coin ranking has Turbo currently at 371.5 milwon. It is up 0.95%. Currently at 0.005. We're back under PopCat. PopCat's 455.7 milwon. Malcoin is 482.9 million. Brett is 700 million. XPS 6900 is 708 million. Forum coin, what the freak is Forum coin and why is it pumping? Up 4%, 820.8 million. Putty Penguin, 580.8 million. Floke is 960 million. Dog with a hat is 1 billion. Fart coins then got up to 1.25 billion. Bonks up at 1.59 billion. Trump coin is 2.5 billion. So this is the market cap. At some point, Turbo will pump back up to. It's coming down for us to pick it up. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and super chat. And you can see here, Dodge is already at a $33.6 billion market cap. And Dodge has been around, right? It's already been through several bull runs. As Turbo, this will be the first bull run, right? It's been on the market, but it hasn't been on an actual bull run. So I'm thinking when the bull starts, when Ethereum actually turns back up, Turbo is going to be one of the beneficiaries. So AIZ16 is 11% up. You can see Turbo literally just went from red to green to 1.9% up. BGB is 2.8. Dodge is 1.8. Dog with a hat is 2.6, 2.1. I'm tripping. Nexo is 1.6. Cato, whatever this is, never even 7.3. Ton is 1.6. Litecoin's up to 2.6. Okay, Litecoin. ZBCN is 17.2. ZCN is 16.2. So it looks like something's happening because the market's going green. It's been red all morning. So I guess when we went live, you guys started investing. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not financial advice. It's just for entertainment purposes. And that was merely a joke. We have nothing to do with what's going on with the market. I'm just reporting what's going on. Ethereum is up 1.9. So if you didn't know, or if you're new to Turbo or crypto, Turbo is under Ethereum. So as Ethereum, literally, as Ethereum pumps, so does Turbo. You see, Turbo's up 2.5%. Literally, when we started, when the video first started live, we were up 0.98. Now we're up to 2.5. Ethereum's at 1.9. FTT is up 1.5. GigaChad's up 5.8. Hint is up 3%. Brett's up 0.6. Mog's up 0.6. Casper's up 2.6. Snake is down 2.6. Toasty's down 1.3. Farcoin's down 3.6. XRP's down 1.5. Floki's down 1.8. Ordinized down 8.1. A Lie is down 2.7. Archam's down 2.9. Powell's down 2.3. Nero's down 8.7. Spell's down 1.7. Ondo's down 2.5. AIZPT is down 3.1. Bear's down 4.5. Mudan's down 1.5. QNT is down 2.4. Mr. Miggles is down 2.2. CFX is down 2.3. So there must have been an announcement or something's going on that's bringing some liquidity back to the market. So let me know what you guys think or what you're seeing out there. Or if something happened in the news, right? I didn't check the news yet. So going over to Twitter, this is the posting from the video Classic Gentleman. Shout out to Classic Gentleman. Bitcoin hit 105,000 in the next 24 hours. I'll send 2,000 to 4 people who leave a comment. So where is Bitcoin at? Actually, where's Bitcoin? Actually, I don't even see Bitcoin. What the? Okay, here we go. Bitcoin's up 0.6 to 104,000. So somebody might get 2,000 at some point. Let me see here. Don't forget to sign up for the BTM X or Twitter page. This is Timmy replying. So replying to need to find a coach. The ticker is Turbo AI. Code token AI plus meme coin. Doxed creator. Dedicated community. Cute Toad partnership with Near and other projects. Near and Aurora. So yeah, shout out to Sammy. Sammy, you Turbo will always be our friend, hero, soulmate. Thank you for a beautiful reminder. And this is the Turbo Toad main page, our friend, our hero, our soulmate, the spark in a calm and storm alike. He's actually pretty cool. Uh, this is, there's only one right answer, Turbo. You will never find a stronger, more positive community than this. And this is responding to which meme coin deserves my support. And this is Sammy, you again, responding to Turbo just vibed into the metaverse like he's just a crypto rave or an intergalactic garage sale. Either way, we're overdressed and over the moon. That's very psychedelic, actually. Those colors, man. The colors. Uh, Sammy says Turbo's overdressed for everything in the best way. And it's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. So shout out to Sammy and definitely appreciate that. So what is this? Turbo has a vision. You can see the Ethereum token in the background. So again, we're just waiting to see what Ethereum's trying to do here, right? Ethereum's up 1.9. Okay, I see you. I cheer. The Roaring Toady Turbo missions. Let's see what the Roaring Toady had to say. Employee at cleaning company or already building something of your own? The answer's yours. In the end, it's all about how you're willing to grind for your goals. With Turbo's energy meets ambition. Believe in your mission and let the community grow. So shout out to the Roaring Toady. Turbo in her eyes, Chica. She owns Turbo. Okay. So baller. You said Jackson, Turbo's fairies uh out en masse today to make Turbo meme coin dreams come true. Load the toad and help them help you. It's actually cool with the Turbo fairies. I never even thought about that. Cool concept. And we definitely need to get the Turbo fairies to work so we can get this pump going. Middle East versus South Korea. Bit by official and official upbit. The turbo arms race is heating up. Only one can move first. Only one will capture the volume. The other left watching liquidity flee. Seems simple, right? Right. So turbo, buy bit and up bit. So somebody did mention getting into that Middle Eastern market and that Korean market would definitely be big for turbo. This is turbo getting ready for that push up. Peg leg wallet. Uh, Mid correction and turbo is still adding new holders. The crypto space saw what Turbo Toad did and they waited for the opportunity to get a bag. They have been buying Turbo and will give you financial freedom. 25x from here minimal. Oh, wow. So currently we're at 54,875. Sideline, see you at 30 cents. Shout out to Stephanus Crypto. Shared this turbo setup last week on the Lord entry show banger, free breakdown, full breakdown.
Okay, give us some. Ooh,
See what these guys are talking about.
I'm in this one already.
Their
So
sound
talk
here.
us through this.
Cool. So I've got kind of a midterm time frame chart here, and then I've got a
Well, that was weird.
Okay, give us some. Ooh,
yeah.
no, I'm in this one already. Okay, so talk us through this.
Cool. I've got kind of a midterm time frame chart here, and then I've got a higher time frame. So this is the 4 and this is the 12. Let's cover higher time frame stuff first, right? Somebody had asked yesterday in our chart hacker session, how do you do the 4 hour? Like, how do you determine like higher time frame, shorter time frame? RSIs are saying this on this time frame. So I told them, hey, look, I look at the higher time frame situation first, right? And so what we have is we have a bearish divergence with a blue reversal dot. Now, obviously, we haven't had that pullback yet. And the reason why is because Bitcoin had this rally. Okay, so Bitcoin had this nice little rally and Turbo followed suit. But if you guys were paying attention to Turbo yesterday, it didn't really rally hardcore like some of these other meme coins. And the reason why is from the lows of April 8th, we have pumped 371%. That's quite a lot of an upside move. So we're looking for a little cute pullback after such a massive move like that. And that's kind of the idea behind this. I've got an anchored VWAP. This is kind of an interesting anchored VWAP, but we are essentially having a hard time there. We have the 200-day MA here. And we also have this horizontal situation here, right? So you can see that we have rejected from this horizontal before. The other interesting thing too on this higher time frame is that typically I like to do a fib retracement from the last lower high before the big correction. So this was the last lower high before the big correction. Therefore, I drop a fib from that point to the all-time low. And I really like how the 618 hacker zone is where we are rejecting from. That's typically what happens. And that's exactly what I see with Sui, right? So I did join Dylan on that Sui short, same exact thing. Sui cannot get above the hacker zone here. There's a 6.5 fib there that we like to use. So looking at the 4 hour time frame now, so let's dial in with a magnifying glass. We have a hidden bearish divergence with a blue reversal dot. Okay, so now we have higher time frame saying reversal, and we're having a midterm time frame saying reversal. Okay, so how much of a pullback could we see here? Again, dominance is kind of high. If we have another unleash of the altcoins, this trade could be invalidated, but you guys can see I have a stop loss right above the hacker zone. So I would say, final stops would be a candle close above 0.00665. And from where we're at now, that's a 10% pump, 8% pump, right? How are you going to play that? You definitely don't want to go 20x, right? Start off with 5x, 6x, and then whenever you see the rollover, that's where you can start to crank up your leverage and add more size and then catch the actual move, right? Now, where are some TP zones? You can see that we have a point of control right here. So I would say TP right here, right? Typically, we bounce off the point of controls, and then we also have an area that I'd be more interested in, which is this anchored VWAP and bullish order block. Okay, so this is kind of where I want to take profits. I'm not really interested in taking profits here. I like to maximize on moves. So if anything, that is a 10% pullback there, right? So it makes sense. But I think this is where it's very likely and realistic for that pullback, which would be at around 0.0043. Okay, we'll probably see a little bouncy bounce here, and that could be it. That could be it. This could be respected here. Obviously, you can see this anchored VWAP is acting as support. We're not seeing any price action below that. But in the event that we do lose the anchored VWAP and we back test it, then I'm looking for this macro trend 618, 100-day MA, 50-day MA. That would be the banger. And this would be a 50% move in the cards, right? And that kind of makes sense because Bitcoin is at all-time high territories. And so if we do kind of pull back a little bit to the 98K region, what is that going to mean for Turbo? I don't know exactly, but there could be a bigger move to the downside there, right?
Okay, give us some. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, I'm in.
So let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with him or disagree? So this is the Aurora turbo stats. So we got total accounts 80, total turbo transfers 168, total addresses 318. So we're up. I guess we added 2 addresses, maybe 1. I think it was 317 on the last live, which was Wednesday. We didn't live yesterday. This is 318. I think we're at 317. Total tokens 44. Total blocks is 14.8 million. Transactions 3.5 thousand. Total contracts 159 and verified 36. And as I say, currently we're trying to get involved in verifying those contracts so we can get that verified number up. So current holders, let's refresh it real quick because we are getting real close to 55,000. 54,007, 54,878, up 0.08% currently. And we're looking at this holder scan. I don't know who put this holder scan together, but it's actually pretty cool. So this is turbo addresses says 54,879. I don't know why I keep saying 7. 54,879. Currently 005. Last 4 hours picked up 11 holders, 12 hours, 32 holders. Last day, 60 holders, 3 days, 99, 7 days, 311 holders, 14 days, 667, and 30 days, 1,577. That's up 2.9%. And I might sign up for this premium because I want to know what the 90-day and the hour numbers are. As you can see here on this chart, market cap is 383.3 million. We were down yesterday to 354.6 million. And I think the high 433 million. This last 14 days, check out the 30-day. So 30-day high, I guess, was, what is this? 340 million. What is this? Last month, 337. So we've been up and down. Currently, we're at 383. And you can see here as the holder counts, looks like we're steadily growing. What up, Doc McLovin? Good morning. Good afternoon. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, toads and tadpoles? Let me know what you guys think about the current turbo price action. Speaking of price action, I'm looking at the charts. So on the 5-minute chart, I'm so glad I finally figured the chart part out. So currently, let's slide this over some. RSI-based moving average is 47, and the regular RSI is down. Looks like we're building volume. Can't even see that. My bad. So we're building volume. See if we can make this a little bigger. Building volume on the 5-minute chart. MACD crossed, and it's going up. 15-minute chart, up and down. We are bouncing off this 005. But you can see, look at the month and a minute. RSI is down. MACD is down. We're losing volume on the 15-minute. RSI appears to be up. RSI base moving average is up. MACD cross volumes down on the 45-minute chart. 1 hour chart is also showing a green candle. Looks like RSI is trying to push back up. And we are building volume still on the hour chart. 45 4-hour chart. Looks like the couple red candles. Volume's coming down. The volume on the 4-hour chart RSI base MA is flat. Regular RSI is down. Let's see if we can go to the day chart and zoom out. And you can see here, for the most part in May, it's been holding pretty steady above the 005, right? The 005, because we've been down, but it's holding pretty steady between the 005 and the 006. I was wanting to push up to the 007, but we have not broke down to the 003. So it's been holding pretty steady. So that's a good thing. And then on, I think we looked at the coin ranking already. This is coin ranking. Coin ranking says up 2.4. So it's actually going up, right? We've been talking. 24-hour volume is 72.8 mil won. Market cap is 374, so we got to push back up to get back up to 400K. But we will continue to be up and down, I suspect, for another few days. Currently up 0.72 in the last hour, 2.38 in the last 24 hours. Down 11% in the last 7 days, up 211% in the last 30 days, 46% in the last 90 days, and 378 for the year. So it's doing better than Bitcoin, actually. It's pretty interesting. Not too far behind Ethereum. And you can see here, Ethereum is down 19%. So it's pumping harder in the last 7 days. And the last 30 days. So Ethereum has just really been going kind of upward in the last 90 days and the year. So it's really starting to push, but Ethereum is kind of tied to Turbo because Turbo is on the Ethereum network. But we're starting to see some positive price action finally. So once Ethereum really starts to run, I think it'll be a benefit for Turbo. Let's see, looking at the Ethereum chart. For the week, it's up 11.3. For the month, it is up 66.3 to 2,600. Let me see. Where did we start off? And for the month, it was 1,500. And it's already up to 2,700. I should have picked up some Ethereum last month before it started to rally up. Let me know what you guys think about the Ethereum price. Is it going to finally bounce back? And are we finally back in the race with Ethereum? But let's check out my main man, Crypto Now and Never, real quick.
So now or never, and welcome back to another update on Turbo. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it after so I can't believe. Know what I
All right, so as you guys can see, Turbo is up just under 8% on the day. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint, I actually think Turbo looks very good right now. It had ran up about 382% from the lows. That is one of the strongest breakouts that we have seen from any project, especially when you start getting into the mid caps or high caps. And that's the kind of thing that I love to see because it shows strength in a project. Now, what I am personally watching right now is this little bull flag that we're forming. Bull flags or falling wedges have been known to break out parabolically. Now, to be clear though, in order for this bull flag to actually play out, we need to see Ethereum also break out. And right now that I would argue the daily time frame for Ethereum is also forming a bull flag. Some people would draw it a little bit differently, but I would argue that this was a fake out and then it broke back into the pattern. And if you look at the stochastics are starting to reset. However, the RSI is still a little bit overbought. Regardless though, the market is very bullish right now, so I wouldn't be shocked at all if this does actually break to the upside. And this measured move for Ethereum would actually be enormous if it did play out. It'd take us to around 3,779. Now, am I expecting this large of a breakout? Probably not. But the level that we are watching for Ethereum is the 200-day moving average. If we can see price action break above this level and then have a bullish retest off of the level again and then an explosion, then that will be very bullish for ETH. And I think it's possible we would see a lot of altcoins start to fly. I'm telling you right now, this is the level that a lot of traders are watching. ETH is not truly bullish until we get back above this level. And again, I think from a technical analysis standpoint, this is going to have a major impact on Turbo as well. If we see ETH break out of the flag, then Turbo will also probably break out of the flag. Now, what is nice to see though is when you come over to CoinMarketCap, you can see that Bitcoin dominance is still dropping. Bitcoin dominance is down to 61.9%. It was over 66%. And weekly percentages have reset at this point, but you can see that Ethereum is still up almost 10%, whereas Bitcoin's up 0.3%. There was a point in time where Bitcoin was up like 6% and the ETH was up 30% though. But again, that's where the time period resetting comes into play. But I want you guys to understand that as well as Ethereum is performing, it's still significantly underperforming Bitcoin in general. You can see that Bitcoin is currently down 4.8% from its all-time high. If you look at Ethereum, even after the breakout, it is still down 46.7% from its all-time high. This tells you right here that Ethereum still has a lot of traction that it needs to gain, but it has been a nice move nonetheless. Now, what's interesting though is if you look at meme coin volume is still very good. Look at Pepe specifically, 1.3 billion in volume. A lot of projects above Pepe are significantly lower. 222 mil, 109 mil, 338 mil, 566 mil. You just go up the list and you can see how well meme coins are actually doing right now. And if you look at Turbo, you can see that Turbo is still doing very well also. And I know this right here isn't going to look good to a lot of people because it's down 12% in the last week. And a lot of these projects you can see green. But again, I want to emphasize how strong Turbo's breakout was from the bottom. If you remember, Turbo ran up about 382%. Naturally, it's going to have a little bit larger of a pullback than most projects. Nothing changes the fact that this is still one of the strongest projects in crypto. And if you look at Turbo's volume, it's still pretty good compared to a lot of other projects. 80 million. You look at MOG, 52 million. Apecoin, 39 million. SPX, 20 million. Base Fret, 45 million. And if you look at where that volume is coming from right now, the largest percentage is Binance, 15.2%. And then Gate.io also has 10%. But the Turbo volume is actually pretty well split up, which is nice to see. There's not just one exchange that's completely dominating it. And what's amazing to me is when we come over to the X account, there still hasn't been any major news for Turbo. They're posting on here every single day, which is awesome to see. And they did do an X Spaces right here on May 15th. But the point I'm trying to make is that Turbo had a massive explosion off of the bottom, 382%, and it's not like there's been any major news. They haven't been listed on Robinhood or anything of that sort. Simply because of how strong Turbo is as a project, it had a massive explosion. That really should give you a lot of confidence in Turbo for the bull run. But that's about it for Turbo today. If you guys are interested in Turbo or interested in joining a like-minded community, then I also recommend taking a look at my Discord. We're in the market every single day, and we've been making huge gains in here. Just to show you guys a few of the gains, we've nailed 6 different 200x projects as a community. And just over the last 2 weeks, we've nailed 2 different 100x projects. So if this is the
So shout out to Crypto Now or Never. And he's right about the Ethereum price pump would help Turbo. This is Crypto Cop. See what he's talking
Hello
about.
everyone, it's Crypto. Welcome back. This video is about the Turbo coin price prediction analysis, guys. Nothing changed, nothing wrong with that. And Turbo is following our recent analysis video very well. The scenario given that we can just go downside toward the 49 we hit today. A little bit more correction is required to go upside easily. So this video is very important because we are just going to talk about this in a detail. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications. Never ever miss the upcoming updates. If you want regular update about the Turbo, do not forget to hit the like button. And $376 million market cap, $80 million of volume today. Price is at 54 something. We bounced very well from the 49 something. Okay. I still think that there is a one more red candle required downside toward that region of the 45 to something. That is going to be healthy for the Turbo coin. Okay. The RSI, look at the RSI is right now reaching at the zone from where we can go upside. Already made a room to go upside toward that region. I think a more red candle downside would be good here, like 49 again, maybe, or 47 something, and then we can just start moving upside something like this, and we can just go upside toward that region of the 77. Overall, this is the structure and validation level of 43, like 41. Every time we hit this area, we bounce very well. So as long we are holding this zone, the 43, I think it's okay to hold. and we can just hold safely this coin. And this is the structure and the scenario for the turbo coin, which is still intact and almost 60 to 70% pump toward the 77 area we can expect from the turbo coin. So here is my thought and analysis about the turbo. Always do your own research before buying and selling anything. Thank you and
So shout out to the last video. This is the trading sniper. See what he has to say.
Ladies and boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, the face is back. This setup will be here just for a couple more videos, right? We are going back to the office very, very soon. Had to get some things renovated. Want to bring back the face cam. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good, feeling great. Spring is here. Yeah, man, I don't know. Just wanted to bring it out. And yes, this is recorded slightly in advance, just in case you did watch the two previous videos I made. Had to pre-record just in case, because I am going to be moving my stuff back to the office, so I need some time for that. Big shout out to Uber Eats for sponsoring this video. First 50 people get $20 off their first 2 meals, which means you can literally eat for free. Just use the code on your screen or the link in the description below, and don't want to miss out on any videos, but the information is still going to be practically up to date. First off, ladies and gentlemen, we can see the giveaway is here, right? This is what you simply have to do if you want to enter the giveaway. Highly, highly recommend it. You never know if you're going to win, right? It is just, you just commit 2 minutes of your time and you could possibly win some money. So who says no? Who says no? Anyways, let's jump right into the meat and potatoes. Look, we are at 388 million volume, 388 million market cap, 77 million volume. So we can see we slowed down a little bit, but that's not really that bad. Not that bad. The whole market is bleeding out a little bit, which we'll cover in just a second. I did make a video comparing turbo to base turbo, which I still think, there's always a valid reason to bring it up. Not going to cover it every single day, of course. Might cover it once every 2 weeks, once a month, depending on the demand. Anyways, look, 54,800 holders. We are growing despite kind of consolidating and selling off a little bit. Okay, so, that should really show something. I mean, this last month and a half should really show something about turbo, right? I mean, come on, we were like the most pump coin in the top 300 like 3 weeks ago. So, turbo will have those moments of boom, big pumps, right? We talked about how in general, crypto moves in bursts and turbo moves in bursts. Okay. We can see even if we go all the way back here, right? We have a big pump, slow down for a couple of weeks before we have another big pump, then slow down, have a little bit of a correction for a couple of weeks before we start recovering, slow down right before the big bang for 2 weeks in a row. Then, of course, things kind of slowed down. Summer was kind of slow. People weren't too happy. But then we can see that we started to recover very, very nicely mid-September, and we started to bang back in October. Remember, people, we banged before every single coin, which still makes me think that this coin will top slightly earlier than most coins, okay? Last cycle, there was this thing where some coins topped early, most coins topped around mid-April, and some coins topped out, the first week of May. So I do believe that we are most likely going to be looking at the early top out or, kind of coming in with everybody, but that might be a second pump or maybe slightly higher. I do believe it's going to be one of those scenarios because if we get something similar where coins kind of pumped in 3 different times, all within like a month span, I don't believe it's going to be this one. And I don't believe the top will be most likely the second pump. Of course, we're going to cover that when the time comes. But we can see, right? Boom, we topped out and then we started to drop off. Had a little bit of a pump back in November. That is when, of course, a lot of people were, going crazy. The crypto markets were going crazy. Boom, boom, boom. Markets went crazy once again in December. Then we had our top. This was also when kind of like Coinbase released our token, right? Some people think it's Coinbase's fault. I mean, Not really. We've seen the evidence now it's clearly not because of Coinbase, right? The whole market just sold off. But yeah, look, people, talking about today's data and evidence, okay? Portfolio reviews, economic and global updates and news, frequent up-to-date technical analysis, and a very supportive community. Sell and buy calls and trading education is provided. If that sounds good to you, now is the time to act. Once the markets start moving, there is no I should have, coulda, woulda. Now is the time. If you want to take things to another level, we have the blueprint that covers everything from A to Z in crypto that you need. No fluff, no bullshit, just the most important news, fundamentals, and technicals to have you succeed in these markets. So here's the thing. We are definitely going to see some type of retracement. Okay. We are definitely going to see some type of retracement, right? For me, it's just a matter of how much. Now, I personally don't really care. I don't. Okay. The micro moves, I never really cared. My whole plan is plan A to plan Z. That is it. Yes. Is it the number one best way to make the most amount of money? No, I've had times where I could have cashed out a lot and bought in lower. Okay. But I said this cycle, I want to play it guaranteed for a certain amount of money. And I'm still on track to do that. So for me, whatever's happening in the middle, the ups, the downs, this bad news, and all of a sudden this good news, I don't really care because I know where crypto is going to end up. And we can see, right, if you follow the news, which I'll start covering news soon, just globally, it's just so good. And the global liquidity and everything is just so good. I mean, it is inevitable that all these coins are going to pump super, super hard for an altcoin season.
What up, Flip Coin Z? Hey guys, Turbo, love Turbo, but should I worry about the Jeets? You mean people who hate Turbo or people that are anti-Turbo? I would not, bro. Haters gonna hate, right? You can't worry about what somebody else is talking about. You gotta have conviction in your token and continue to diamond hand, right? People are gonna say everything they want to say while it's down, but then you keep holding and diamond handed, right? Keep holding tough, and you'd be surprised as soon as the price pumps 10% or 10x. Everyone, their mom's gonna be talking about it, right? Your mom's sister's boyfriend's barber's gonna be selling turbo shirts in a couple weeks. So definitely continue to hold people that are going to take profits early. No, right? Make sure you have a plan and you have an out and you have a uh, established position where you're going to take profits. I think that's the biggest problem a lot of people in crypto make. They don't take profits, right? You need to have a plan and take profits whenever you hit that number, right? Whenever you get to a certain point, right? It's not value until you take profits. In other words, you just holding crypto. You don't make any profit until you sell. So you got to know when to sell, and it's never too early to sell. But you want to sell. You can't sell too early because you can always reinvest, right? You can always sell, take a profit, pay some bills, or buy the next dip. But if you don't take profits and you wait and you wait and you wait, a lot of people get wrecked on that because they don't take profits. Then it comes back down and they're stuck holding the bag, right? Versus if you take profit, you can always reinvest or you can always keep some on the side. Let me get back to the video. Oh, no.
We can see that we did get rejected. We did have a decent rejection, and we are having a decent sell-off. Nothing too crazy. Momentum is slowing down a lot. So before we continue going lower, we probably will get a little bit of a pullback before we sell off. I really do think there is going to be some type of sell-off. I don't think it's going to be big unless we were just wrong about Bitcoin. Okay. And the reason why I bring up Bitcoin is because, ladies and gentlemen, I believe Bitcoin is overall going to be ranging kind of like the way I said. Okay. Kind of like the way I said. Now, overall, we are behind on global liquidity. Okay, we know that crypto is always behind, and global liquidity has been just pretty much skyrocketing. Yes, there were little minor dips here and there, which is probably why we have to slow down, just because of also, you know, fundamental levels and everything. But in general, it's like this is all micro, right? The bigger picture is just fantastic. It is just fantastic. So I do believe, if anything, we do get a pullback, probably maximum to 100K, which would mean, you know, Bitcoin drops 3.5%, which would be roughly like 12% drop, which we saw last time for Turbo. So if we did drop that 12%, you know, we could go all the way down here to this green box. Buying below 0.005 is going to be a great opportunity. Now, if I'm talking about, you know, how manipulation works and everything, then I do think there's a decent chance also we will have 0.04 swept. Okay. But you have to remember, this is a certain type of mindset and style, especially when it comes to trading. It doesn't have to happen when the markets are really bullish. I do not believe we will have a full on correction to 0.003, right? It would be technically, literally the most fundamental correction you can get. If we go on something like the monthly, we go into this order block candle over here, which is this manipulation sell with a bigger pump candle, creating this type of formation here. We can see if we take it from the body of this candle and pull it back, it is literally going to be the most fundamental correction, right? We pull back, we fill up some of this imbalance, right? Because this candle did pump heavy, so we'd fill up some of this imbalance. We would take out liquidity over here, and we would have a support and resistance retest. Okay, so support and resistance retest. We take out weekly liquidity, right? We fill up some imbalance, and we go into a monthly order block. I mean, that is literally the most fundamental. But once again, like I said, it does not need to happen. Okay, so we will monitor this, right? We will monitor this. Overall, if you are looking to dollar cost average, in my opinion, I would be buying at 0.005. If it goes lower, 0.004, and then, you know, roughly 0.003, maybe a little bit higher than that, right? Those would be my dollar cost averages. And if you don't know the way I would personally dollar cost average, if I would put, let's just say, $100 on this 0.005 position, then the next position I'd put $200, and then the last position I would put $400, because I would be really, really confident with overall the Turbo's the way Turbo is going to be moving over the next couple months with altcoin season, right? With altcoin season. Now, speaking about altcoin season, we will cover Bitcoin dominance very, very quickly. We can see, ladies and gentlemen, that we did officially bounce off this 62%, and we are getting some type of retracement right now. In order for me to even confirm that we are officially going to be flipping on Bitcoin dominance, right? We can see we have these lows over here. We would have to take out this high, okay? This high of 63.14%, and then come back down and create probably some higher low. So we go up, we take this out, come back down, and then go up higher, right? Also probably creating some type of reverse head and shoulders eventually. So it would look something like this for me to even confirm that, hey, yeah, Bitcoin dominance is going to be going up. Right now, there is no confirmation. There is no nothing. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
So shout out to who's this? My main man. Who's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Who's this? The trading sniper, and this is Ro, the hardest working man in Turbo, and then we'll go over to Wealth Magnet. Let's see what Ro has to
What
say.
is going on, Turbo family? Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. I know I am, guys, starting this day off bright and early, recording 2 to 3 every single day. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ro. If you're new to this channel, basically what we do here on this page, we cover trending cryptos daily. That's right, daily. We've uploaded well over 600 videos. And on Turbo specifically, I'm pretty sure we've made over 400 videos. Guys, I've been talking about Turbo for over 14 months now. and we're only going to continue growing. Listen, we've also incorporated live streaming, so if you guys want to catch me live, ask questions about plays that you might be into, make sure you guys join those. I usually do it towards like 10 p.m. EST. So if you guys want to catch me, I'll probably be live over on there somewhere on YouTube. With that being said, though, Turbo family, hope you guys are having a good day. The markets are looking a little bit gloomy right now. We're having a little bit of a pullback, which is a-okay, because we know if something goes up forever, it probably isn't sustainable. But long moves like this, short and slow growth is what we need. With that being said, let's hop into today's video now. Turbo market cap down 8.79% in the last 24 hours. I have seen some projects even down up to 10% in the last 24 hours. Volume is also sitting at 72 million, which again, that is a good amount of volume. I like it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you upset that the volume is sub 100 million? During Turbo's rise, when it was, booming like a couple weeks ago, volume was surpassing the market cap and by a good amount as well. And one thing that I would never understand is why more exchanges don't list Turbo at this point, because this is one of the only projects that consistently have a good volume at being such a low market cap price, right? $356 million market cap, but the volume consistently is above 100 million. Yes, there's times where we are sub 100 million like right now, but again, that does not last forever. When the pumps start to come in, this thing is going to rally. In the last month, up 169%. A lot of people are flooding this. I don't think a lot of people in crypto really understand how it works. Guys, crypto doesn't go up forever. There's going to be little pullbacks along the way. There's going to be 5% dips, 10% dips along the way towards the upside. I've had people commenting Turbo and Toshi are crashing. Turbo and Toshi are bearish again. I don't think you guys understand what bearish really means. If it's a bull run, okay, if all signs are pointing to it being a bull run, if Bitcoin is over 100K, Ethereum is pumping, breaking past 2,500. If Turbo is up 170% and we have a 10% correction, that does not mean we are bearish in the slightest. That's not how crypto works, not how investing works. And quite frankly, guys, it gets me a little bit worried about where the mindset is of a lot of people who are investing in this space. Guys, there's so much macro bullish things that are happening right now that you guys don't even understand, right? Obviously, one of the biggest things is that I think next week, Coinbase, right, the ticker itself, the company, they are being listed on the S&P 500, which is massive. It's for the top 500 companies in America. And basically every boomer, everyone who is old enough to open up a 401k, or everyone who has, if you're in Canada, a TFSA, and you own, the S&P, you own, you're holding it one way or another, you are going to be indirectly having exposure into crypto. Even if you don't hold a cryptocurrency, you're buying into potentially the biggest exchange that is out there, and you're betting on the future of Turbo, or not Turbo, of crypto by doing that. And in turn, guys, when people realize, oh, Coinbase is on the S&P, let me look into it. When retail starts to buy in, what meme coins do you think they're going to go to? The ones that are on Coinbase. And to be quite frank with you, there's only 8 or 9 meme coins that are listed on Coinbase and Binance, okay? And one of those is our little guy over here, Turbo Toad token, all natural, all organic growth. Now, guys, if you do want to know what cryptos I currently buy and sell, if you want to have access to videos where I talk about my exit strategy, technical analysis, how I find hidden gems, make sure you join up the Meme Coin Mastery. Again, you do get access. You get pinged right away whenever I'm buying or selling something. Also, you get access to be a part of an active trading community. These guys are all off the same. You can see here, bouncing towards that support area pretty well. Kind of what I called here. I said it could go one of two ways. Obviously, right, we rejected off that 206 mark, and I told you guys, we may not hit the support, but we likely can. And if we do hit that support, what I want to see is a bounce again, yet again, off the support area, guys, and then start another move towards the upside. Hopefully, this touch is all we need to finally make our move towards the upside. What I mean we make our move towards the upside is I really want the bulls to win this support area yet again, and then we break past the 206, because getting rejected at the 206, which is halfway of our all-time high, is so annoying. Like it's a long and lengthy process. Obviously, guys, it is worth the wait. The ones who are patient will be rewarded. But if you guys are looking for an opportunity to get into Turbo, you haven't been loading up, listen, I never chase green candles. I always like to wait for pullbacks. You're getting in at the next support area right over here. And again, from here, just back to that resistance at the 206, you're looking at about a what? 27% gain. And if you were to break past that, 30% gain. The next resistance is at 50% gain. The one after that is at 100%, right? And the all-time highs are sitting at about 186% gain towards the upside, which I don't know about you. That's a pretty good risk to reward if you were to ask me. Now, Turbo, obviously, guys, make sure you follow them over on X. Let's actually see if we did surpass 55,000 holders. I think that's one thing that's very important that I want to see here. I don't think I did that right. How many holders? I don't even think this is the right page. This is the right page. 54,814. So we are off by 186 right now. 186 people just to get us to cross over that 55,000 holder mark, which again, we're almost there, guys. I believe by the end of this weekend, going into Monday, start of next week, we probably will hit it. First AI meme coin blockchain, Docs founder and team, 125 plus exchange listings, 69 billion total supply, all coins circulating, 100% CTO, and truly decentralized, official Turbo NFTs, some of the best crypto artists, and it's 100% unruggable. Turbo has been screened, has absolutely zero security risks. Turbo Chain has a burn mechanism, literally insane, guys. Make sure you check out Turbo if you have not already. And if you are part of the Turbo community, make sure you guys are liking this video, sharing this video, hitting the bell, because it shows YouTube that you guys care about this type of content. And guys, if you hold Turbo, make sure you talk about it over on X, right? That's the best way to get new retail investors to buy in, literally just by doing that, just by doing what this guy is doing. Turbo, nice trade so far, more to come. It looks like he called it off the support area, which again, we have been calling as well. Guys, if you didn't know, we are someone who has called the Ethereum bottom very close. We were off by 5%. It went 5% lower, but hey, I think that's a snipe in itself. And we are eating off that Ethereum buy that we made. Day 99 of relentlessly pushing Turbo. This isn't stopping until we smash a multi-billion-dollar market cap. Step right up, spin the wheel, and witness the power of pure Turbo potential. Will it land on 0.04 or 0.09 or moonshot to 55 cents? Turbo is consolidating 50% below its all-time high and has 100x potential. Fading a play like this before the most violent run-up we've seen is criminal. Again, you don't want to go to jail, guys. Obviously, not a financial advisor. Please do your own research, your own due diligence before you buy into Turbo. Again, it is a risky play, guys. Meme coins are risky. Crypto is risky. So please do not invest more than you are able to lose. At the end of the day, guys, crypto is just a vehicle to get you where you want to be in life. And I believe that God has used this as a vehicle to get me to where I am today. Obviously, bought my dream car. I've quit my job and I'm able to kind of travel and do things that I want to, and I would not be able to do it if God has not given me the privilege to be able to just sit in front of a screen and talk to you guys. And you guys obviously giving me a platform. I just want to say thank you for the love and the support. If you guys do appreciate these videos, please subscribe. Help me get to 15K. I'll see you in the next one. God bless y'all. Take care and peace out, boys.
So shout out to why does this video keep coming? Shout out to Ro, main man in crypto. Guess we got a couple minutes. We'll start this video with Wealth Magnet Hub.
Back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Turbo update, taking a look at where it's gotten so far, and in terms of the graphs and overall the long-term progress. So before we actually do start with the video, do make sure to hit the thumbs up button and drop a comment down below on what you think about Turbo, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So let's get right into the video and head over to our screen. So we're over at our screen looking at Turbo's chart right now, up around 3% in the weekly. So almost breaking even. We did go higher in the middle, actually the beginning of the week, and we were kind of uh, consolidating throughout the week, but currently breaking even almost 3% up, and volume at 72 million, which is still doing pretty good. Market cap $379 million. Also, again, decent. And if we take a look at the monthly, it's been a great month for Turbo. Actually, it's gotten more than a 3x, which is absolutely, again, crazy for Turbo to see such great numbers after a really long time. If we actually take a look at the graph right now, we could see it is still around that range. It is on that kind of range we did talk about, the 450 to 550, it did bounce off from that. We could see almost like 3 times, barely, if we do count these three, almost 3 times. So again, this is, we already know, a very crucial range for turbo, because it usually tends to tell us a lot on what the next move for turbo is. And since it is getting rejected a lot from this range, and actually has broken this chart, if we actually do take a look at this kind of pattern that it was playing out again in the long term, possibly it hasn't actually broken off, because we haven't seen the candle close yet. But it does look like we will be going down, and maybe we could touch this $300 million market cap range again. So we just have to wait for the confirmation till this breaks us out, and it did get rejected from this range a couple of times. Again, if it could do this again, maybe it will break out, but most likely the chances are looking like it will go back once more before it actually does make any big move. So again, pretty normal. That's what happens in the market. It doesn't have to be exaggerated, and that.
We're going to have to cut Wolf Magnet short, but thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. It's your main man, BTM here. Hope you guys have a happy Friday and enjoy your weekend. And it's okay to be weird. Can't listen to fudders. Haters gonna hate, guys. So just keep it cool. People might hate, but hating doesn't affect your bottom line. So just listen and keep it cool, bro. And as always, it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Remember, let's get back to the money and stay dangerous. Miner out.